Hello everyone, this is Lucas. I'm making, I will be showing you how to make a stew today, and I'm going to do it in a first person perspective because all those other cooking shows, you know, you have to watch somebody yap, not from a different perspective, but, you know, most of our cooking is done by the, first person view, obviously. So, I've got a crock pot in front of me, I've got all of my ingredients out. So what we're going to do is we're going to start by chopping up our veggies. I already pre-washed all of the tomato, all of the veggies that I have here. So I'm just going to chop them up, get them in the crock pot. And for stews, I like them chunky. You know, I like them thick, I like them chunky. I'm sure a lot of you are the same as me. You like a nice thick stew. You don't want any sort of tiny anything tiny in there, so. And the type of stew I'm making today is a stew I made a few weeks ago that turned out really good, and so I figured I'd share the recipe with you guys. It is a carne asada stew. I picked up this very good carne asada seasoning from Costco a little while ago and made a stew with it, and it turned out really freaking good. So, and this is pretty easy to make, and it's a crock pot recipe, so you can make it. I'm making it about, oh, what is it now, 12:30. So this is something you can start around noon, or you can even start it probably at the beginning of the day too. It doesn't really matter when you start a stew, because you just want the meat super tender, and you also want, if you got potatoes in there, you're gonna want those nice and tender too. So yeah. I'm only doing a pound of meat today, but you can do your stew however you feel. If you're making it for a lot of people, probably I'll bump it up from, well, actually no, that's a pound and a half. I lied, I'm sorry. I'm fired. But yeah, and I pre-scrub these, wash these. I do like leaving the skins on. I don't know, it adds a little bit more heartiness to the whole stew overall. And the green pepper now. Like I said, I like kind of chunkier bits in my stew, so don't need these to be super thin at all. Oh, and I already washed my hands, so nobody yell at me, please, in chat. If you are yelling at me in chat, please don't. I'm a very sensitive boy. Cut up the butt a little bit. I don't know what you guys call the bottom end of a pepper, but I always call it the butt. I don't know, it just makes sense that way. I'll use that. Yep. I like to use as much of the whatever I'm cutting as possible, just because, you know, reducing waste and whatnot. Alright. Been avoiding the onion for a little bit, only because I'm afraid it'll make me cry. Like I said, I'm a sensitive boy. Perfect. You definitely want to peel the paper off because nobody likes the onion paper. If you do, then seek help. But like, yeah. Okay. Again with the onion too, nice and thick. I don't know, the thicker the veggies in a stew, the better, honestly, in my mind. It's not thick. Well, a lot of the times, you know, when you're cooking it for, you know, several hours in a slow cooker too, it's going to reduce the size of everything in there anyway. Some of the moisture is going to get cooked off, and you're going to want it to get around the little head there as much as I could. Oh God. Yep, that's why I was waiting on this guy. It's starting to burn a little bit. Oh. Oh. Whew. We're gonna do a whole onion for this, so I'm punish myself today. Whew. Yeah, if you're somebody who cuts up onions on a semi-regular basis, you know the pain of the the sting of the onion tears. Oh man, trying to do this as quickly as possible so I don't suffer longer than I should. Well, and if you look, I'm not really breaking apart the onions too, because they'll just come apart on their own in the stew as well. So I'm not super worried about, you know, any of the them being a little bit stuck together at the moment. Oh. All right, I'm gonna clean this real quick just so the burn goes away. Wow. Okay, now that it's been cleaned off, oh man, it's making my nose run too. I'm gonna chop up these tomatoes. These tomatoes actually were grown in our garden this year. We've got a decent haul of tomatoes this year, which we normally don't get a very good amount of tomatoes, but this year was really nice. These tomatoes will just pretty much melt in the stew, which is great. So you get a lot of the flavor. Oh yeah, that part's a little bit. Yeah, we'll put that off to the side. These pretty much will melt down. You'll see the skins floating in there. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I might need to sharpen my knife here. I don't know if you can see, I do have a couple of cans of beans, and I was going to also add a thing of frozen corn to the stew as well. Alright. Maybe a couple more tomatoes. Let's see. Yeah, this one's pretty good. You can use, I'm not sure what, I don't know why I wanted to say style, but what breed of tomato this is. I think these might be mini, like beef steaks maybe. I'm not 100% sure, but you can also use canned tomatoes and stuff like that. So I'm not like a food purist that, you know, everything has to be pure, has to be fresh. Sometimes you just want to get something done, you know, that's all right, that's okay. All right. And I like lots of garlic. I don't know about you guys, but I like lots of garlic. Keeps vampires away. Also just tastes really fucking good. So and everyone's least favorite part of garlic is getting the paper off. So flat end of the knife, or flat side of the knife, you can just press it down and that gets the paper off pretty dang well. And off there. Ooh. Garlic press. It's a little bit older. I need to look at getting a new one, but it seems like you're over there right now. Paper. Go away. Away with you, paper. Now, I get overloaded the garlic press here, but I do cha. Ooh. Getting a nice press. And this stuff will just melt. The garlic will just melt into the stew when you crush it like this. Press it. Let's just try to make sure I get up every little bit. Oop. Still a couple pieces to work up with it. Ooh. Oh geez. Alright. For the beef. Don't need the knife anymore. Beef stew meat. Oh, almost got it all out. Perfect. Always wash your hands after handling raw meat, because you do not want to cross-contaminate things. So, all right. So I got our beef in there. And what I'm gonna do So I'm gonna grab a little bread flour. And I prefer bread flour. You can use all-purpose flour, but I just prefer bread flour because it adds a little more texture, feels a little heartier in my mind. So no judgments on what you use, but probably, yeah, that's a decent amount. So we'll use some tongs to, kind of toss everything together. And for this, because it's carne asada, I'm using this Spanglish Asadero carne asada seasoning I picked up at Costco. So a little bit with the meat. Continue to toss, because you kind of want to get a decently even coating on everything. I may need a little bit more flour, but I see some at the bottom that, you know, is gonna. But how this is looking, actually, this is looking pretty good. So yeah, that's pretty good. I would say B plus. Give myself a B plus on that. But you're gonna want to go over to your stove. A little bit of oil. I just need it to heat up real quick. But I can get some of the first pieces in here. You kind of don't want them all to be the same, you know, too close, too clumped up together. Want it spread out a little bit just so they can have a little room to crisp, and you don't want to do too much at once. Otherwise, it'll take longer to brown everything. And I'm just getting everything brown. There's no need to, you know, overdo it and like fully cook the beef. You just need to get a little brown on all the sides, and then it sitting in the crock pot will do the rest of the work for you. While the beef's cooking, I'm gonna be making some stock, a mix of veggie and beef stock, using these Better Than bouillon. So I just gotta heat up some water while the meat's cooking. And I'm just gonna heat it in the microwave real quick. Alright, you can hear the meat starting to cook here. I'll let it do its thing. And you may be asking yourself why I'm doing both veggie and beef stock. It just adds more. It's a good combination. It adds a little bit more. Alrighty, the beef is cooking. Alright, I want to get it a little bit crispier than this. If you can see these guys, I've got. Oh yeah, the guy in the middle here is kind of more what we're looking for. This guy right here. It's got a nice browning on it. But I'm making a stew because it is, I don't know, the fall is stew weather, and you know, everyone likes a nice hearty stew when it's cold outside. know, the leaves are starting to change. You know, pumpkin spice lattes are back at Starbucks, so you just, you know, there are just some things that you just want. And I used a little olive oil. I don't know if I mentioned what oil I used sprayed in here, but I used a little olive oil to kind of start everything going. I'm realizing now that I might not be able to use the audio from this because the microwave's going at the same time, so. Okay, that water's nice and hot. Alright, so I'm gonna make my stock here with the boiling water. I mean, it's not quite boiling, but it is quite hot, so stir that and make sure that I put the right lid on the right. Give this a good, give that a good stir, and then we'll get the veggie bouillon, however it's pronounced. Alrighty. That's nice and blended together, and we'll go and head and pour this in with this. Oh, I didn't fully get. Oh well, it'll mix together while it's in there. So not a whole lot to worry about. And I will turn that on now. Ooh, meat is looking mighty fine right now. Yeah, it is a little burnt, so I do have this on a little high, but I don't mind it. I know the folks in my household do prefer stuff a little bit on the crispy side. You know, that might not be as healthy for you, but you know, it's still good. It's still tasty, it's still good. Alright, yeah, we're gonna turn this down a little bit, I think. That's just one long piece. Long piece. Alright. Let's turn down a bit. Continue cooking the meat. We got our broth ready. I also add, this is me, I add a little bit, so probably about a quarter cup of lime juice to the mixture because it's good. It adds just a little bit, it adds a little bit to it. The lime will add a little bit to the stew itself. Alright, the last of the beef almost fully ready. Yeah, definitely got a little crisp, but that's okay. You do want it like kind of this nice almost golden brown color. at the very least for browning meat. So we're gonna put the last of this in the crock pot here. And there's some bits, little bits left over here. What I'm gonna do is deglaze. I'm just gonna use some water to deglaze the kid. Just steamy. Trying to deglaze this a little bit. Grab a spatula, because spatulas are better for deglazing. Oop. I might need a little more water than this, but just get some of that extra flavor. Add that to our stew. Alrighty, now I've got everything in there. Let's grab a big old spoon to stir it, mix it together a little bit. So I did season the meat. We do need to season the rest of the stew though. Yeah, I got this bad boy packed, but that's okay. We'll get some liquid. The tomatoes will shrink and we'll get some liquid from that, but adding some more of the carne asada seasoning. And it might look like a lot, but this will be perfectly fine. Try and mix it all together, and then we'll be back in a little while to add in the last little bits for our stew, namely beans and corn. You want to put beans and corn in approximately half an hour to an hour beforehand, just so they get cooked thoroughly, but also they don't get too mushy. So we'll see you back in a little while. Alrighty, it's several hours later at this point, so I've already rinsed the beans, put them in the stew, and then we'll add corn. I'm just using one of the frozen packs of corn. Oh my gosh. If I need, nope, I need scissors. So there's no little tear line. It says tear here, but, oh, there it is. Alrighty. Here's the corn. And that, oh, almost all of it. Okay, I think this is pretty dang close to full. Try and mix these up a little bit. Alrighty. Then we'll check back in an hour, and then it should be fully ready to consume. So it's been a few hours, so let's take a look. It looks really good. I always want to test the potatoes, make sure that they're cooked all the way through. Perfect. That is nice and cooked. Alrighty, so this was my stew, my carne asada stew. So thanks for watching, and we'll get back